We are live with our first ever episode of Talkin Rec. We're excited to bring this to y'all, something we've been talking about doing, get it talking.
What we're going to do is we're going to try to do this once a week and break down the previous week of games, give everyone kind of an update of what's going on around here.
This previous Saturday, our first opening day, our attendance was around 424 adults and children, which is great. We'd love to see that high of a number in such a small town.
So we've got, to give y'all a breakdown on the games, we've got 6U Ray versus Johns, and then we had Matthew versus Harris.
The 8U girls, we had Edgy versus McCarty. Edgy with the victory 15 to 11 over McCarty.
8U boys played next, Oakwin versus Bryan. Had Coach Bryan won 12-7.
You got 10U girls, Bennett versus Lee. And Lee kind of walked away with that one, 26-6.
10U boys, Dykes versus Harris. Harris beat them 30-12. Then we had 10U boys, Page versus Robertson. Had a 48-6 win by Page there. We never like for games to get that out of hand, but
I feel like you got to talk about the dynamic duo of the.
Yeah, when you got Aiden and Tyson on the team, it's a tough duo to stop.
So we got 12U girls, Bowers versus McCarty. Bowers will win 21-4.
Which was actually a better game than the score came out to be.
It doesn't look like it was a great game, but there was a lot of missed shots from McCarty's side that really changed the outcome of that.
We had 12U boys, Parsons versus Williams. That was 34-24. That was actually a very entertaining game.
The very last game of the day was about the only game that you got your money's worth and nail biting out.
Yep. And then of course we had at noon we had the ring ceremony for the 2024 state champs. We didn't really get to say this when we was giving out rings and all and doing our little speeches and all, but that was that all-star team last year was so exciting to watch. I think they all the way to the state championship they beat everybody by 20 points or so.
It's always nice when you just have a 20-point lead and the clock just run.
Yes. And they were district champs, state champs. They either go up in the gym in Daytona and hopefully hang there forever.
Yep. Or until they build a new gym.
Yep.
And hopefully give us that. So our star players, our 3-point makers from Saturday, you're gonna have in the 12U girls be Leah Parsons. Sorry.
Yep. Then we had Ryder Dykes on 10U boys.
They both each made one, along with
On Kane Barnes.
and you got Garen McCarty. He made 3 of his 3-point attempts.
Yes, he was knocking them down.
On 12U boys. Got most points for their team. Ava McCarty, she had 9 with 1 free throw.
Cameron Lee had 5 with one free throw.
And you had Emery Lee with 12 points for his team.
Angelina Pittman, 4 points and four free throws.
And then the person to take home the most points of the day would be Aiden Bryan with 24 points.
Man, that's part of that duo. Bentley Steve, 18 points with 2 free throws.
Day games in Hoboken were the only games we had because Nahona's got canceled for some unforeseen reasons due to
Had a little science fair going on in the.
They don't want to mess up anybody's science fair projects.
Yeah.
Basketballs and cardboard, I don't think go along very well.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We got one of them that we're gonna make up. We're finding a spot for the other two.
Monday night games in Hoboken, we had 10U girls, Lee versus Jackson. Seems to be a very close game, 16-12.
Had 12U boys, Williams and Lewis. That was a 44-11 victory by Lewis.
Close.
They say it was a decent game though. Yep.
Most points for the team, again, for Monday games would be Emory Lee with 10 points and 2 free throws.
And we had a little Lila DeCrowder with 6 points.
We got Colin Harris with 6.
And Asher Neese with 12 and Peyton Jackson with 12.
Then on Tuesdays, our games in Nahunta, we had Page versus Matthew. It was a 39-3 victory for Page. And then the Page versus Edgy game, they ended up being a 6-6 victory or tie game over in overtime. Never really do overtime when time doesn't really work out, and we had the time, so we did it this year. And 3-minute overtime, full press, and it was wild.
It was entertaining. It was a great game.
It was a great steal, and then a great terrible shot. It made for some good comedy.
Yeah. Had a nice steal at the end of the game there, and then
Set up
shot
to make
to go in.
a good shot and hit the backboard or side of the board.
Would have been a game winner.
It would have been. It definitely would have.
Then Hoboken, they had McCarty versus Harris. McCarty pulled that out by 1 point.
Free throw to make the. You gotta
Was it a free throw that won it?
It just seems like with 11-10.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. But you gotta watch those fouls sometimes. That could be your deciding factor.
That's true. Foul shots win ball games. Cooper versus Bird, 32-20 Cooper.
And most points for a team would be Tyler Page with 15. Tyson Page. Tyler Page. Wonder how I did that.
Little Tyler. Then overtime games.
Just the one. We kind of pretty much covered most of that.
Yeah. We had Ava McCarty with 4 points, Lila Prater with 4 points, Andrew Stanley with 6 points, and Cullen Bass with 6 points.
And then on that same team would be Ellis Westover with 6, and then David Thompson on Bird's team with 17 points, be the most points for his team and the most points of the day. We kind of jokingly nicknamed opening day shutout day because of some of the points and some of the scores, but there were some really good games that were close. We have recently added wrestling to the agenda of our sports for this year, and our wrestling schedule is being made, and hopefully by the next time we air, we'll be able to give you the agenda for that.
Yep, hopefully we can give you a schedule. We had 65 signups for wrestling this year, our first year doing it, and we're gonna have about 3 matches of our own, thanks to Jay Edwards in the middle school letting us get in there and use the school mats.
And even talk about the end of the year tournament possibly
Possibly.
between ourselves. That's up in the air still, of course.
Possibly. And you know me, I'll go wild with the awards and trophies for that. So
The 3-point contest
yes,
trophy or chain, I should say, is I would.
we'll
If I could shoot threes, I'd go try.
next week we'll have to put it on the table here, either, or I might wear it.
Yeah, we get Bob Bones up here to wear it or something.
Yep, we'll figure something out. we're just trying to do this to let y'all know what's going on, and
Kind of recognize the kids for all their hard work that they put in.
they can here's talking about them on TV.
Yep. It's our episode of Talkin Rec. It's our first one. Glad y'all tuning in with us. And we'll talk at you later.
Hopefully more to come. Thank you.